That hello, we're live. Good evening. I was just about to say that tornado north of Mount Vernon or around Mount Vernon has gone back and forth between being on the ground and lifting. I think it's gone to the ground and lifted a couple of times.
Where we are now. Okay, perfect. Well, I've got Brett. If you want to, we'll get right into it. We do have an observed tornado reported down in southwestern Indiana. It is approaching like Oliver, Indiana, into just west of Wadesville. It's just now north of Mount Vernon. And there's some cities here I've plotted for you on the impact of those. Poseyville, 557. Let's see, we're at 530 right now. Let's get Oliver, 535, Wadesville, 547, Poseyville, 557. And we're kind of looking right here. We'll kind of go to drawing this where you can see, let me change the color of this tool here, where you can kind of see this hook. This is probably where the tornado is coming up and going back down, but this is actually really a pronounced look here on radar supercell here, as it does have a tornado warning with it. That tornado warning is going to go for the next 30 minutes. It's a tornado warning with a particularly dangerous situation. If you're in the path of it, you are going to want to take cover. I'll put this into motion real quick just so folks can kind of see where it's coming from. Move through Uniontown down there in Kentucky, and then through Mount Vernon. And you can just kind of see the hook nature on that storm as it continues to what looks to be a relatively large populated area in Wadesville, Indiana. A lot of subdivisions, perhaps, and then into Poseyville, which is a larger area as well. So, if you're inside of the polygon here for the next 29 minutes, that storm is moving north at 25 miles per hour, and it has a history of producing a large tornado. And the public has confirmed a tornado with this storm now in southwestern Indiana. And that tornado warning, again, is going to be in effect until 5 p.m. Central Time for southwestern Gibson and northeastern Posey counties here throughout this evening. Brett, what I find interesting is the development of all these individual cells out ahead in this environment here.
Yeah, and we had a lot of people note on the last live stream. The sun has come out even up here in Johnson County. A lot of these areas have had clearing that's allowing this instability to grow a little bit more. And we certainly don't lack any wind shear. This is, again, the remnants of Tropical Storm Beryl or Hurricane Beryl, if you will. And so there's plenty of wind energy to allow these things to spin. The question was never that. It was all about how much instability could we build. And I think given what we're already seeing on radar, we're seeing plenty of it
Until 5 p.m. Central Time for southwest.
Yeah, to sustain these. So, and I want to watch that line that's developing out to the west too for a wind threat later down the road. That's starting to kind of ramp up and look more organized as well across eastern Illinois and western Kentucky.
Yeah, for sure. It's looking good. Yeah, hey, if you would do me a favor, Brett, on the live down there, the bar that's mentioning our names, can you move my video to the top left part of the screen? Is that possible?
Let's try. Oh,
there you are. Hello.
Yeah, it didn't. I'll mess with it.
Yeah, no, you're good. But so the environment out ahead. I'm gonna come up over here and grab a couple things while you're looking at that, and I can share on the screen here momentarily. I will share this screen if I can. We'll go here, Chrome tab, COD. Okay, so if you see this screen now, there you go. So Brett has, you can see that up over here on the right-hand side. We're looking at the visible satellite. There's a lot of clearing out ahead of this, and the instability likely has been able to pop relatively quickly with the clearing out ahead. You can kind of see where the lines are creeping northward. That's energy and instability for these storms to develop. And that's the kind of the main line we were talking about back out to the west and to the southwest down there. We'll turn on real quick just so you can see the counties and kind of how they overlay. But this clearing that has really worked in this dry slot, and along with this area of low pressure, we kind of call this the triple point, where you have the low, a little bit of warm front, a cold front extending, and it's all wrapping around the backside. I think is going to set up for not only this tornado threat to continue, but also a pretty potent line of thunderstorms come through later this evening for the threat of at least damaging winds around the area based on this look here. Let me look real quick at just a couple of different things.
Yeah, and I do see a report here near Mount Vernon, Indiana. Tornado on the ground north of Mount Vernon, causing damage. A storm chaser just had a large tornado on the ground to the north, in that particular area, just north of Mount Vernon. So,
okay, yep. So let's get a look here at some composite parameters. You can kind of see where the tornado threat looks to be the greatest right now in a couple of these areas. We can see that the significant tornado parameter extends kind of right on the edge of that storm. And then over here across, basically stemming over towards Jasper, Bloomington, Columbus, up through Shelbyville, Rushville, and points south. Any storm cells that develop up and through this area here may really have the potential to spin relatively pretty easily. And again, if we kind of go, if I go back to radar, I'll go here real quick and show you the development of these cells out ahead of this would again indicate, that I think we may be seeing at least the potential for several tornado warnings across the state. If I could get it to share my radar here.
Yeah, and let's see here. There's a report. Let's see here.
Brett, can you get the radar to turn on? Because it's not. It's just me and you right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hang on. I got you.
It hates us.
Yeah. There we go.
Perfect. So that's what I'm kind of talking about here. I'll zoom out a little bit when I'm talking about these individual cells that are still kind of firing right through here. As those lift north and kind of northeast, those are going to be the ones that have the potential for continued development of at least tornado warnings. And then this would be the line we're watching as the low kind of does one of these numbers and kind of tilts back. This line will probably start to move in and tilt a little bit and work in more southwest and northeast here this evening and bring the potential for damaging winds and heavy rain and thunderstorms with that as well. I believe the tornado watch, let me plot the watches for you real quick. I believe the tornado watch is just south of the Indy area. There we go, right here. If you're in the red, that's the counties right now that are under that watch. So Morgan, Johnson, Shelby counties across just south of I-70 are not in the tornado watch. It doesn't mean that we couldn't see a warning. It's not what I'm saying there. But Bloomington, Columbus, Bedford, Seymour, Jasper, those areas, Bartholomew, Brown, Monroe counties, Knox County, you guys are under that tornado watch right now. Let's see. I'm going to display. Brett, I guess I don't have the same abilities. I was going to display some comments. There's a comment from Michael Pruitt that says, live fire and police radio feed from Posey County sounds like they took a good hit.
Yeah, what I was trying to do was, I have a video here that John Kemper sent, meteorologist John Kemper, in our staff chat from Twitter, from Pocket City WX. And it is a close-up of the tornado on the ground near Mount Vernon, Indiana. It's a pretty gnarly video. And so, let's see here.
You do that, and I'll kind of
pull it up.
That latest scan is wicked. Just west of Oliver, Indiana. These scans are nasty looking.
Yeah, and it seems to keep cycling. And so it seems like, it broadens the rotation, and then every time it reestablishes or re-intensifies, it seems like it's even gnarlier than the first one.
This is right. This is when it looked the most impressive, just north of Mount Vernon. And again, you can see just the really tight rotation there and that pronounced hook on radar. That's a classic signature there of a tornado. And again, there's your latest scan. So just south of Poseyville, real quick, Brett, what I'm going to do is just again get some folks an idea. This right as that rotation, probably right here. Move that north at 25 miles per hour. So folks down here in Posey County, Poseyville 558. If you're in Wadesville, just west of there, I would certainly take shelter. I know we don't have it listed here, but yeah, it's looking impressive.
I'm going to just drop this link in the comments because I think folks will want to see this tornado. So yeah, it looks like that video that I linked there in the comments shows a tornado ripping apart a building there near Mount Vernon, Indiana. So
are we good to open link in new tab? Can we get that? I could probably show that here. Yeah, let me go. I'll show it here real quick. And just so you can see Chrome tab, share. Here we go. Here's that video. And again, that's out of, where was this, Brett?
that is right outside of Mount Vernon, Indiana.
And who shot this? Who can we credit? Do we know?
This is Gibson County WX. It says it's from a friend.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely debris flying in the air. I mean, it's definitely doing some damage. Wow, look at that. Holy cow.
Let me
Whatever that
share
was.
that.
It's not letting, yeah, I don't see you up on the screen here.
I've got it, Michael. Give me 1 second. There we go.
Yeah, whatever. It's definitely it definitely has hit a, wow, look at that. Jeez. Is this sharing my screen, Brett, or yours?
This is yours.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys can see once it hits that building, whatever that structure is.
Jeez.
It's an implosion there of debris, and hopefully no one was in there. Good night.
Yeah.
That would be horrible. Or at least if hopefully they were out of the path. and again, it's hooking again just west of Wadesville. So a storm with a history of a tornado like this, gosh, you don't want to mess around with that. Let me go over here real quick to back to my radar stream here. I don't know if you have to do anything, Brett. It seems like we're having to put.
Yeah, it seems like we're back into me being a producer mode. Remember the old days with the green screen? It's
yeah. Why is it doing that? Is this like a new thing?
I don't. They've changed some stuff on the streaming platform, so either we're doing it wrong or they changed some stuff that I don't like. But
well, I'm going to zoom down in here a little bit more and again show you guys what we're seeing. If you are again just west of Wadesville, just south of Rapture, east of Harmony, if you are going through, here's a new scan coming in right now. Not as pronounced there, which is at least encouraging. Broad rotation here, though, just west of Wadesville, Indiana, coming into Poseyville. This hook-like feature. This is a supercell storm. This is your forward flanking downdraft. This is the rear flank downdraft where it kind of wraps around, and your inflow notches here. So if you had hail or wind gusts right here, it's going to be raining heavily, and then you'll get a break in the action as you see the wraparound here. And this would be the indication of if there's a tornado, it would be located right here. And so, you know, an interesting statistic that 96% of all supercell thunderstorms produce severe weather reports. The odds with a storm of this structure is that it is most likely producing, if not a tornado, at least really gusty winds and damaging winds, or some hail, even in that regard. So, folks are asking where this is at. This is Posey County, Indiana, the far southwestern county in the state. I'm going to zoom out here. It's just north of Mount Vernon, west of Evansville.
And I think, Michael, something that needs to be noted with these storms that is a little unusual. Looks like a new tornado warning there heading just southwest of Louisville. Yeah. Radcliffe, that's a pretty populated area as well. Jefferson County is populated. It'll head that way soon. But something interesting about these storms compared to a lot of supercells move southwest to northeast or almost more west to east, and these have a very strong northerly component to it.
Yep.
which is just because of the tropical nature. This is a tropical air mass, and it's a was a hurricane, and so the winds are very, very southerly compared to what maybe a normal cyclone that develops supercells would be. And so a little bit more of an unusual storm track. So if storms are just south of you, and you're used to them going more west to east, don't let your guard down, because they are moving a little bit more from the south than what normal supercells do.
Yeah. Brett, you said Radcliffe was a bigger city.
Yeah, Radcliffe, really, once you start getting to Radcliffe and points to the northeast, you're starting to get into some more populated areas. Elizabethtown, just south of that's pretty populated too. So,
Mhm.
all of those areas, that's a pretty gnarly hook there too.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, this is kind of and I'll check the correlation coefficient scans. Probably a pretty nasty inflow notch here, but you can see broad rotation. Certainly one. What I'll do is I'll pull up a different scan here real quick, so we see if we have any indication of any debris going in the air there. You certainly see the strong inflow.
Yeah. If it's not yet, it might soon.
Might be anytime. Vine Grove, Radcliffe, Raineyville down there, far northern Kentucky, just southwest of Louisville. So we're going to keep
Yeah.
a close eye on that.
If
For
you've
sure.
got friends and family in that area, Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, or probably even Jefferson County and Louisville, given the direction that it's heading, tag them here, share this with them, because they're kind of going to be next in line for that potential tornadic supercell there.
We'll go back to this one in Posey County. The tornado warning is going to continue for the next 15 minutes. And again, we just showed video moments ago of a pretty nasty tornado and damage to the buildings that it was hitting. So again, of Rapture, Indiana, Poseyville, Wadesville. We'll come out real quick. The next county it would move up into, I believe, is that far southwestern. Let's see, Gibson County.
Gibson, yeah,
Is that Gibson?
Gibson. Yep.
Gibson. So Gibson County, you'd be next, pending the track of how this storm evolves. Western Gibson County, Fort Branch, Princeton, Mount Carmel area. If this storm continues, it'll go right over Gibson County here, probably in the next 30 to 40 minutes. It's a relatively slow moving thunderstorm, about 25 miles an hour. But someone just said tornado is on the ground north of Evansville right now. That would be this storm, so it's
Yes.
northwest of Evansville. Yeah, I would say with that look, there's certainly no denying that there could be a tornado on the ground for sure.
We may want to start watching in the next few minutes the storm near Scottsburg. I'm seeing on our clarity radar some rotation on it, on our rotation tracks. And looking at some of the high res radar here, I am seeing some rotation on that storm in Scottsburg.
Scott, remind me where that's at, Brett.
Scottsburg is just going to be that storm east of Salem there, just north of Clark County. And so north of Louisville. And it's going to be, yep, that storm right there.
Yep. So Scottsburg, Indiana. Let's see. We'll go to a dual pane here and look for rotation. Yeah, a little bit of broad rotation and some hooking going on. It won't take much to see that storm go tornado warn for sure. Let's pull out here real quick, and again, just kind of get a take on the situation. I'll loop this for you guys so you can kind of see the general motion of the thunderstorms moving north and east. That one cell, what I like here about it, Brett, it's about to get sucked up into the low center maybe, and the line is catching it, probably diminishing the tornado threat there.
Yeah, that'll be good news once that happens, because that will effectively kind of cut off that inflow that it's getting to help sustain the rotation. So,
These,
yeah, I was just about to say, Michael, all of those now east of that, I'm starting to see some hooking on them. Really, a lot of these.
Yeah, nothing too super pronounced yet. I'll tell you what, guys, real quick. What I'll do is I'll show you just the general idea at the forecast radar for those of you watching here over the next few hours. Generally, the forecast radar product is doing pretty well. So I'll share this screen here so you guys can see that. This is our Clarity Future Radar product. And again, you can see, and Brett, you may have to play producer again
Of
for whatever
course,
reason.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah. So you can see right now the future radar product is doing pretty well at seeing these individual cells. I'll advance this forward and we'll take it out here to 7:30 tonight. You can see the advancement of everything moving up into the north and east, and you're going to continue to see the potential for these storms rotate in that time frame, and then kind of that main line is there from Bowling Green to Owensboro to Vincennes. We'll go to 8:30 here. Here is 9 and 9:30. Again, you can see it's starting to become a little less organized by about 9 or 9:30, but nonetheless, I think there will be a wind threat, heavy thunderstorms, heavy rain threat with this as we continue through about 9:30 tonight. Here is 10:30. Again, still coming down pretty good, especially over most of the state. Of seeing good, a healthy dose of rain and thunderstorms tonight. Again, some of those storms certainly have the potential to be severe. You can see here's 11:30, Lafayette, again, still Indy, Richmond, Muncie, Fort Wayne. We're seeing a great deal of thunderstorm coverage. And I'll continue to just kind of move this out. Again, you can see rain is kind of still hanging with us, at least up until tomorrow morning, as we even have backside wraparound moisture. But just real quick here, for those of you wondering, where is the severe threat tonight highest? This is the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook here across the area. This is a slight risk basically from Terre Haute to Indy to Richmond south, and then an enhanced risk, Jasper, Evansville, Owensboro, Louisville. This is going to be the area at best play for these tornadoes to potentially happen. So thankfully, no new warnings tornado-wise as of just yet, but this new scan here has 3 of those cells showing decent hooks there in Southwest Indiana.
Yeah, and I just kind of glancing out right now in terms of all the rotation, all kind of in that orange area that you showed there, Michael.
Yeah.
So I think that we're already kind of seeing where the highest concern is with these storms. But, I still want to keep an eye on that secondary line out to the west. The low level jet kind of picks up a little bit later this evening. These, at the very least, further north, I think, can have some gusty winds as they move through. And tomorrow, too, going to have a lot of gusty winds, 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow morning into the early afternoon, just with the remnants of Beryl moving through and some stronger wind gusts possible. So, yeah, that max wind gust. This is our Clarity platform. So those with the Pro subscription here have the future max wind gust. And you can kind of see the stronger gusts beginning to pick up late this evening. Further out to the west, you can see some 40-plus mile-an-hour gusts in eastern Illinois, 30-plus miles per hour north of I-70 there. And I think that as we continue to kind of roll this forward, it intensifies. And that jet, it's almost like I don't know if it would qualify, but it's almost like a sting jet. There's some clearing on some of the model guidance that I noticed yesterday. If we were to get any clearing north of I-70 tomorrow, we would mix down 60 to 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. I'm a little skeptical of how much clearing we can actually get, but the winds aloft are certainly there if there's any kind of mixing at the surface.
Yeah, those winds are nothing to play with. Anything you see that's red or darker on the screen here, it's 58 mile per hour or greater, essentially, and some returns of 63 mile per hour winds there. So definitely north central Indiana tomorrow through south central Michigan certainly has the potential to have some nasty non-thunderstorm wind gusts with them. So
it doesn't happen very often. I'm shocked that there aren't wind advisories. I still don't think I've seen any issued. There needs to be wind advisories because it's going to, it's going to be very windy tomorrow associated with that. So
I'm sure we'll see that come out here at some point for sure. In the hourly forecast product tomorrow, we've got gusts exceeding about 30 miles per hour, at least down here. This is for the southern part of the state. I can do this is a cool way to sample Clarity for you and kind of show you what it may be spitting out here across Northwest Indiana tomorrow in the hourly forecast. But You can certainly see some 30-mile-per-hour gusts that the model is indicating. I would imagine as we get closer, it'll probably be higher.
Hmm.
Um, but the forecast insights that we have out on the site have
Right.
already highlighted this. This is actually hand drawn from our human meteorologists that show you where the winds are going to have the potential to gust 50 miles per hour plus tomorrow, which is an incredible product. It's human made, it's not automated, and you really get the best value out of it from something like that. So, really, really cool map to see. And this was our severe weather outlook for today. Again, you can see where we've been anticipating that as well. So, um, Brett, this might be a good, just a good stopping point for us to see what these storms are going to do, and if there's a need to come back on in a little bit,
Yeah,
if they can reorganize.
for sure. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on that one southwest of Louisville. That's really, I think, the main one of concern right now because, as you mentioned earlier, the one near Mount Vernon kind of getting sucked up into the main line. Still some rotation on it, but those are kind of the main two areas we're watching. But we can monitor and see how things evolve over the next 20 or 30 minutes or so.
Perfect. Well, we will come back on, guys, if we need to, and keep you posted. So we'll chat soon.